Welcome to the Filthy Report channel. My name is Jason Filthy Jones, bringing you the dirtiest information with the cleanest style. This is Fight Talk. Let's get to some Fight Talk. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everything is going great for you guys, and I hope that you guys are getting ready for 2021, basically, because New Year's Eve is right around the corner, and we're going to be ringing in the year. Hopefully it'll be a better year than 2020. Who knows? I'm not going to get into all that right now. But what I will be getting into is a little bit of fight announcements, a little bit of stuff getting shifted around and moved around, and a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you guys for what you guys are getting prepared for 2021. With that being said, biggest announcement right now that's going on has to be Chimaev is out of the fight of Fight Island 8. And Leon Edwards is looking for another huckleberry or another dance partner to come his way. And who's, of course, stepping up, but the large mouth, big mouth as much as he can be, Kevin Holland. Wouldn't mind seeing the fight. I would rather actually see Kevin pretty much stick to fighting at 185. Reason being is just he's on a tear right now. To me, he's the fighter of 2020. 5 fights in a row, 5 wins in a row. 1 decision, all the other 4 fights, all stoppages. So, I mean, and coming off of the biggest win of his life right now against Jacare Souza, I think he's on a real good tear, and I love his confidence. I love the style that he's just bringing to the cage and the way he's acting and carrying on with his demeanor of how he is. He's just a great all-around fighter. Can't wait to see what's going to go on for him for 2021. Now, with that being said, not sure who they're going to pick for Leon Edwards, but the other information I want to get to, which is some really big information, is so if you guys didn't know, Khabib was supposed to be meeting with Dana, I think on December 10th, and I think the premise of the whole meeting was just for basically that Khabib had bought a new fight organization, and he's probably trying to get it on Fight Pass. But also, Dana wanted to hash out what they're going to be doing with the lightweight title. I don't know if you guys have been reading the news lately, or if you guys have been hearing the talks that have been going around. But Khabib's basically saying that they should throw the title on top of Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Now, with that being said, that literally throws a huge thing going on with lightweight. It does give it some kind of order, gives it a good way of planning out for the year of how lightweight should go for the UFC, if they would put that title at the top of that card. Now, the other news in the lightweight division for the UFC would have to be that Michael Chandler has finally got a dance partner, and his dance partner is going to be Dan Hooker. Now, it's funny that that's being talked about right now, because with that being talked about, the next thing that clicked in my head was like, whoa, from the last thing that everybody was talking about that was supposed to be Michael Chandler and Gaethje. Now, if it's not Michael Chandler and Gaethje, now it's Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker, and we'll get to that fight. My questions would be, what are they going to do with Gaethje? Now, we did just see in the ending of the last UFC event that basically Charles Oliveira took out Tony Ferguson, and he doesn't have a dance partner. Now, how would you guys feel about Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira? Now, I think that's a really good challenge for Charles Oliveira, but also I think that's a really dangerous fight for Justin Gaethje. Now, if you saw how he was handled by Khabib, it only makes me wonder how good Charles Oliveira would be to get on top of Gaethje, or even get beyond the bottom of him and be able to strangle him out. Charles Oliveira is one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artists in UFC right now in the lightweight division. Has some extreme great squeezes, has some really great submissions, is the #1 submission artist in the whole UFC, has the most submissions in the whole UFC. And you guys just see what he did to Tony Ferguson's arm. Now, I wonder if that fight's going to be made. Be looking to the screens, be looking at the news, be looking at MMA fighting, be looking to Ariel Helwani or Brett Okamoto or any of them to see if the breaking news is going to be coming out that it's going to be Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. Now, hopping back on to Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker, I think it's going to be a really awesome fight. There's a lot of things that are going on in this fight. There's a lot of questions to be answered. One, does Chandler still have it, or will his fights catch up to him from doing all the fights up in Bellator, where he was champion for a very long time. And also, don't forget, when Michael Chandler left Bellator, he was not the champion. He got beat by the little Patricky Pitbull, meaning that he got beat by the 145er, not even the 155er. But don't take that as a disregard to Michael Chandler. Patricky Pitbull in the 145-pound division, he is a phenom. He has a lot of power. He has really good hands, and he's really freaking fast. Now, all that pushed aside, let's talk about Michael Chandler. Well, Michael Chandler, this is a huge opportunity for him. Also, this is also a very dangerous opportunity for him. Michael Chandler has a really good wrestling background, but he has became one of those wrestlers that have fallen in love with his hands, and he is able to put anybody out. He's very quick, very diligent on his training, very diligent on his cardio. He does slow down throughout the fight, but he puts on a pace that nobody else has seen for a while now, where he's able to mix in the game, meaning that he's able to mix his wrestling, his boxing, his kickboxing all into one and get you down to the floor and just basically ground and pound you and put you out as quickly as he can. Now, if he sticks with that style, that'd be great. I would love for him to see him stick to that style, but knowing how Chandler is, he's one of those tit for tat kind of guys. If you get him, he's trying to get one back on you. Now, if he plays that game with Dan Hooker, trust me, it's not a game he wants to play. Dan Hooker comes from a camp that they are extremely good at feints, and they're extremely good kickboxers. He has some really good hands, and he has really good power. Now, if you guys don't know what kind of camp he comes from All City Kickboxing, which is also where Israel Adesanya is from. That is the type of striking that Dan Hooker has. So can't wait to see how that matchup plays up. And that's probably going to be at the top of my list right now for the matches that are coming out. Now, I don't know if you guys have also heard, there's been a couple other matches been made. There's been a couple of talks about matches that are being made. And now, with all that being said, guys, the next match that I wanted to talk to you guys about is a match that is with Kevin Holland. And as much as Kevin Holland's calling out to fight Leon Edwards, he just got booked in a match with Derek Brunson that's going to be coming up in March. Now, that is going to be a phenomenal fight, and I doubt that fight's going to go the full 5 rounds. Somebody's getting knocked out. And as it stands right now, with how things are going, I'm pretty much going to be leaning with Kevin Holland. I think he has a really good arsenal. His striking is just improving, and Derek Brunson has been on a up and down sprawl every once in a while for the last couple of years now in the top of the division. So let's see how it goes. I can't wait for that match to play out. Now, the other match that just literally got announced that is a big announcement is Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz. And I think that fight's going to also be in March. Probably going to be at the ending of March. That's fight. I can't wait to see how this goes. Also wondering, is he going to put on a little bit of weight? Because if you guys don't know, Izzy does come in like pretty much at his natural weight fighting in the middleweight division. He comes in, I think, anywhere about 184 to 186. So with that being said, I mean, Blachowicz is going to be a really way bigger guy than Izzy if Izzy doesn't put on some weight. Now, don't take that as a discredit to Izzy either, or that it's going to be a problem for Izzy. Izzy's fought way bigger guys and all that. It's just when you start talking about using your ground game and everything, you do want to have a little bit more size on you to be able to control the person. Now, with all that being said, guys, the next fight I want to talk to you guys about that has been made, that everybody's been talking about, that just came out a couple of days ago, would have to be the Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz fight. Now, that fight's really looking decent to me. Can't wait for that fight. I want to see how it plays out. Just leaves me with a couple of questions. Is he going to put on more weight, or is he going to come in at his natural weight that he normally comes on? Now, if you guys don't know, Israel usually is walking anywhere around 184 to 186. He's not a very heavy middleweight. He walks in at his natural weight, able to fight. It's just he's that high skilled of a striker that he's able to put it on and put a pace on people that most people can't handle. With Blachowicz, he's going to be a bigger guy. He does have a decent background of wrestling and ground game, but when it comes striking to Izzy and him, Izzy got the upper hand on him all day. Just wondering how that's going to go. Can't wait for that matchup to come up. And with that, guys, the only other thing I have to talk about really is the announcement that GSP is pretty much talking about that he has a new team and he has a big announcement coming out, which would lead me to expect that he's going to be trying to make the basically Khabib and GSP fight happen. And with Khabib talking about that they should throw the lightweight title on top of Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, makes me think that the fight wouldn't happen at 155. It's probably going to be at the 170 division, and it's just going to be like a farewell fight for basically Khabib. I'm hoping for that announcement to come out soon. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not too sure if it's going to end up that way, but let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we get to see Khabib one more time and maybe see him walk away with that 30-0. Now, moving on from the UFC, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about Bellator because there's a little bit of things going on with them. With all said and done, Anthony Johnson's been signed. Yoel Romero's been signed. There's been a couple of Russian signings. Gegard Mousasi's talking about moving up to 205. There's a lot going on in with that. Scott Croker's talking about maybe making a Grand Prix for the light heavyweight division. With that, that's a really big step for Bellator because it's pointing in a direction of basically putting up numbers to try to compete with the UFC. They're starting to stack their divisions. They're not going after a lot of old talent. And don't get me wrong, when I say old talent, you were talking like Yoel Romero and Anthony Johnson and all that. But they're still decent guys that have a lot of good, I'll say maybe a few years in them still where they have really decent fights in them. Especially, I can't wait to see Yoel Romero at 205 because he's been fighting at the 185 division for a very long time. And he's competed in the heavier weight classes when he was wrestling before. So let's see how Yoel comes out. He could be a completely different person. I could probably see him having a better cardio, better stamina, and a lot more power. Can't wait for those matchups to start. Now, there's also a lot going on because we're waiting to see how the lightweight division is going to be playing out for Bellator because Patricky Pitbull, who does hold the title right now, is basically saying that he's willing to vacate the title for them to be able to create a Grand Prix because he's already in the Grand Prix for the 145 division. So we'll see how it plays out with that. And guys, there's one other thing that we could talk about, which would have to be the whole Dana White video of him coming out and talking about clickbait and all that. Now, if you guys are looking into it like that, go ahead and see what you guys think about it. But with that, Dana White's gonna Dana White. He's a promoter. He's always gonna be an antagonist about all different kinds of things about the media and how they portray him as a bad person. We get it. We understand. It is what it is. It's a media thing. I'm not a media person. I bring you guys information if you guys are casuals that don't always know what's going on, or you guys just wanted to check out the show to see if you guys can get some links on some good fights that are coming up so you guys can either watch them or play some bets. That's what I'm here for the Fight Talk. I love MMA. I've been watching MMA and doing MMA for a long time. It's a fun thing. It's all I really got for you guys, man. There's not that much going on because of the wrap up of 2020. With that, the only question I have for you guys this week would have to be, what are you guys looking forward to? What fights are you guys looking forward to? What promotions are you guys looking forward to? And if you're a hardcore fan, are you guys going to be jumping at the windows when they start selling tickets for you guys to be able to go back to the stands and actually sit at an actual fight? I have to admit, I can't wait. I would love to go watch a fight in person. It's an awesome experience, whatever organization you go and watch at, whether it be UFC, whether it be Bellator, whether it be PFL, or if you're in Asia and you can catch the ONE FC fights. They're awesome fights. I'm hoping that the places start opening up. I'm hoping a lot of changes in 2021, but I am looking forward to a few fights. That's pretty much all I have for you guys this week. Not that much out there, but I would like to tell you guys, thank you for sticking around with me for 2020, and I can't wait to see what 2021 is going to bring. And if this is your guys' first time here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and hit that like button. Let's get the Filthy Report out there. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let everybody know about it. I love producing content for you guys. And like always, if nobody else loves you, I do. I'm always here for you guys. I am Jason Filthy Jones, bringing you the dirtiest information with the cleanest style. Peace.